Good morning, all of you. In today's class, we will discuss about clinical laboratory instruments. In previous classes, we already has discussed some of the instruments. This is your syllabus. In this, we already discussed about water bath, hot air oven, incubators, distillation operators, and cyclomixers, and also water distillation plant and water deionizers and reflux condenser, and also cyclomixers, magnetic stirrers, shakers, and refrigerators, deep fridges, and cold boxes. So all these we will discuss. So how it will work and care and maintenance. And centrifuges also we will discuss. In the centrifuge we already discussed about the principle. What do you mean by Swedberg unit? What do you mean by centrifugal force? What do you mean by centrifugal field? What do you mean by RPM? What do you mean by RCF? And conversion of G to RPM, vice versa, and components and working and different types of centrifuges. Up to working we will discussed. So in the balance, different types of centrifuges we will discuss today. So there are different types of centrifuges are there. Here we will discuss about the regular used ones. Here there are horizontal head or swinging bucket centrifuges and fixed angle centrifuges and small bench top centrifuges are also called as low bench top centrifuges and high speed centrifuges, micro centrifuges and ultra centrifuges. In horizontal head or swinging bucket centrifuges, here so tubes are placed in the cups of rotor in horizontal position in the motion and also in the vertical position in the rest. Means you can see when you place in the rotor, here the sample will keep here in the cups. So in the resting position they are in the vertical position. It is parallel to the shaft. This is a motor shaft. So this is parallel to each other. So this is a vertical position in the resting phase. Whenever the centrifuge is working in that position, these will come to here like horizontal position, will come like from this angle to it will come to here in the like vertical position like this. So right angles to the shaft of the centrifuge to distribute the sedimentation uniformly at the bottom of the tube. So while working it will come to a right angle to the shaft of the centrifuge. This is a centrifuge shaft, and when we working, so it will come to here like a right angle like 90 degrees, which will because of that the sedimentation formed in these tubes are uniform at the bottom. So to distribute the sedimentation uniformly at the bottom of the tube, and sedimentation surface is flat with a column of liquid on the top when the rotor stops. Next, so this horizontal or swinging bucket centrifuge provides resistance to the rotation and generates heat as a result of air friction. So because of these moving parts are horizontal from here to and vertical to horizontal position, and there is a gap in between that leads to the air friction that will resist the rotation. So there is no, that's why we can't produce higher speeds. and resistance is decreased if the swinging bucket enclosed in a windshield. If we keep this in a enclosed windshield, means like a box, we can decrease the resistance. You can see in the small bench centrifuges. Next one, fixed angle centrifuge. In previous slide, it will change the position based on the working on the rest. So if it is in the rest, it is in a vertical position. If it is in working, the tubes in horizontal position. Whereas in this centrifuge, the angle is fixed. So the tubes are held in position from 25 degrees to the 40 degrees to the vertical axis of the rotation. Here you can see, this is the so this one is the shaft. So when it is horizontal, means 90 degrees or right angle, whereas it will fix it to the 25 degrees, 25 to 40 degrees 40 degrees angle to the shaft in this fixed angle to the vertical axis of the rotation. So the particles are driven out horizontally but strike the side of the tube. That's why the sedimentation packs against the side and bottom of the tube with the surface of the sedimentation parallel to the shaft of the centrifuge. So because of that vertical angle 25 to 40 degrees, so here the sedimentation pack will not be even, it will like a slant position towards the shaft, parallel to the shaft of the centrifuge. So as the rotor slows down and stops, gravity causes the sedimentation to slide down the tube. That's why, so the disadvantages is a poorly packed pellet or precipitate is formed. Next one, we are regularly using in our laboratories, that is small bench top centrifuges or low speed centrifuges. So which can be used with or without the refrigeration. The slow speed is up to 4000 rpm and RCF is up to 7000 Gs. So rpm means revolution per minutes, whereas RCF is, we will express in terms of times of gravity. So relative centrifugal force, how much gravitational force is applied on that particles in the test tube. So these uses are, which are commonly used in the clinical lab to separate the blood to plasma and serum, and used for the precipitation reactions and also precipitation of fluids and tissue homogenization, and also can take approximately 100 tubes depending on the diameter of the centrifuge. And next one is microcentrifuges, are also called microfuses or Eppendorf centrifuges. So they take tubes of small volume up to the 2 ml and very common in the biochemistry or molecular biology or biological labs, and can generate forces up to the RCF approximately 15,000 Gs. So these can be used with or without the refrigeration. Next one is high speed centrifuges, and the rotor speed ranging from 15,000 to 25,000 rpm, and maximum relative centrifugal force is up to 90,000 Gs, and maximum tube size can be up to 200 ml and normally refrigerated, because this high speed will cause heat and also These coils generate heat, that's why usually it is refrigerated. And in these centrifuges, most of the time they will use angle head motors. Here you can see the cups which is with low resistance and angle head, so we can't change. So in some we can use with a swinging head. So when we operate the instrument or centrifuge, this will swing to the horizontal position. Here in the vertical position it will swing to the horizontal position. So uses are for the, it is used for research work in the medical, pharmaceutical and industrial and research institutes, and also to separate and isolate microorganisms and large subcellular organisms and protein precipitates. These are the some of the uses of high speed centrifuges. The last one is ultra centrifuges. In this, the speed of centrifuge is very high, and the speed centrifuge up to 65,000 rpm, rotation revolutions per minute, and RCF up to 1,50,000 Gs. It uses fixed head rotors, and advantages are uses are, it is specially used for special type of separation such as fractionation of lipoproteins and serum proteins. So when we discuss about lipoproteins, hemoglobins and isoenzymes and all, and various molecular techniques like DNA, RNA, by using these ultra centrifuges we will separate into different fractions. Like lipoproteins we can see, so lipoproteins like LDL, VLDL, HDL and chylomicrons, and total cholesterol is there. So normally when we testing we will do only total cholesterol, like that we'll express the total cholesterol. So and also there are different types of separation techniques are there, like electrophoresis and chromatography, and one of the technique here, it is one of the separation technique here by centrifugation, by using ultra centrifugation with very high speed, that is here 1 lakh up to 1,50,000 Gs. So by that we can separate the or fractionation into the different types of lipoproteins and different proteins based on their molecular weight and viscosity, and to determine the molecular weight and purity and formational changes. And disadvantage is very limited lifetime and very expensive and require special rotors. So by this we will complete the centrifuges, and we will discuss about balances in the next class, and I will send the PPT with up to now whatever we discussed, total instruments we will discuss in the PPT. So I will give you that one. Okay, thank you.